and focusing today on how we can, the 4 personalities of our brains, we've all got them, and how we can access the very calm part of our brains. I was very inspired by Jill Bolter. She's a neuroscientist who had a stroke on the right side of her brain, which affected the left side. And she was a top neuroscientist. Now, this is going back when she was in her 30s. And she experienced, and I think many of you will have known about it, this huge sense of bliss, because her left brain, which is the organizational side, as well as the ruminating side, had just gone, along with language. And she was just lying there in bliss. And for a couple of hours, she had to somehow figure out how to get hold of help. But she really didn't know, because that left side of her brain wasn't functioning. And I've always, well, since I've read about her, felt deeply inspired by her work. So that's what we're going to focus on, is these 4 brains in our system. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Obviously quite simplified, but I think it works really well for a yoga session. So let's get started. I'm still very stiff, and so I'm going through quite a lot of physical challenges, but that too is when I can access the right side of my brain. I can be with it, and learning just to be with pain and to trust. So let's get going and tune. Feeling into those left and right brains, 2 personalities on each side. Letting your breath come and go, knowing that as human mammals, we have this immense function to think, to plan, to organize, which sets us apart. Feeling now this in between the palms of our hands, but connecting to the heart center, the anahat, the unstrung chord of being present to whatever is. Bringing a slight smile on our faces. We smile upon our bodies. For me, my pain body, just smiling upon it, knowing that it too needs attention. Relaxing our shoulders down, holding a straight back, being held by the spine, softening into the front. Giving access to relaxation into the right side of the brain. And let's tune it. Om Namo Buddhaya Namo. Breathing in and out, sensing into the physicality of the hands in prayer mudra, slowly loosening them, gently massaging them, going beyond the left side of the brain, which wants to get on, compete, do everything right, time schedules. Just a massage for a moment. To look at our hands, And I notice the veins, our veins now of an older person. I bruise easily, and allowing us to be however our bodies are. Bring your hands to the heart center, the anahat, the unstrung chord, the unsung sound. And we are fully engaged on the right side, both parts of that side of the brain. Language falls away, and we feel the unstruck sound of being. I'm going to begin with doing a pranayama, and in the pranayama we're going to explore these 4 parts of the brain. So we're going to start with the left brain, so we're going to breathe through the right nostril. So it's the thinking, we're going to explore. So if you close off the left nostril and you close off your left eye, so you're only looking through your right eye. So it's like everything is now shadowed back to the left brain. Keep a very hyper focus. This is the executive personality. This is Dr. Hess speaking. I don't know what name you want to give to this executive, but keep that focus of the right eye, looking straight ahead. The executive function of being able to work through time, work through schedules, have clarity on things. Enjoying that right brain. The left brain. Through the right nostril and the right eye, hyper-focused. Notice the quality of your stare. Notice your heart rate. Notice everything about your body. It's likely to be going into quite high alert. I sometimes use Dr. Hess when I need to get somewhere or have something. Entertaining the part of our brain that's the executive. And release. Breathe for a moment through both nostrils with your eyes gently closed. We're going to stay with the left brain, but this time we're going to go to the part of the left brain which holds a lot of it's in the amygdala, which is both sides of the brain, but it holds a lot of the hippocampus memories. So we're going to again close off the left nostril, keep the right eye, the right nostril open, and you're going to look staring again and allow yourself to remember grudges, any grudge, any resentment, any unfairness, going back through time, through space. The left brain is fully organized in time and space. To remember something that really has irritated you. Allow yourself to be activated by it. I call this the Grinch in me. The Grinch who remembers things that others owe me. Stay in your bodies. And now release. Come back again, softening both eyes. Let's not be against either of these functions. They keep us safe. They're part of an ancient system where we can flag up like any inflammation, where there's a problem, or where there's someone we don't fully trust. And if we don't engage that, we may fall into the same trap again. Now we're going to go over to the right brain. So we're going to close off the right nostril, breathing in through the left nostril to access the right brain. Going to soften our eyes. We're going to close the right eye and soften down the left. Notice what's happening in your body. Character we're going to explore in this breath is the playful one. It's a child quality, never grows up. It's a child who loves to play. Keep the soft gaze. Now, whatever memories of playfulness come up for you, long deep breaths, soft gaze, soft front. You may notice your body relaxing. And release the playful one. Now we're going to come back, again closing off the right nostril and closing the right eye. This time we're going to bring our gaze up to the third eye with the left eye. So we're looking up to the center, slightly out of focus. We're accessing now the ancient wise one who's always known. This world is a play. Not attached. And right to the center of the brain now. Keeping the left eye slightly open, looking up to the brow point, to the Ajna. The one where there is no right or wrong, good or bad, it just is. And releasing. Bring your hands into Gya Mudra. We celebrate each 4 characters in our own brain. To just be the wise one would mean we wouldn't do much action. If we didn't have the resentful one, the one who remembers, we may go into too much danger. Without the playful one, life just becomes a series of things to do. And without our executive function, I wouldn't be doing this class. allowing each part without judgment. But right now, letting the heart center, the anahat, lead on these 4 characters. So we're going to start doing some warm-up exercises. Well, actually, all the exercises are going to be warm-ups. So we're going to start with a few standing exercises. And we'll begin with some miracle bends. So bringing your hands up on the in-breath, stretching up with our heads back, feeling the base of the spine, the top of the spine, base of the skull and the brain, stretching up, feet just a hip width apart, and slowly coming down, vertebra by vertebra, back down to the earth, just flopping down wherever you land. Bending your knees, do it as slowly as you want, coming back up. And slowly down. You may want to touch the parts of your body. The functioning, the executive part of the brain will atomize everything. It turns things into bits and pieces. So as we actually touch all these bits and pieces, we welcome them to the place where we are much more than the sum of these parts. And once more, coming back up, recognizing all the bits and the pieces, stretching the spine, each vertebra. And then slowly breathing out, bringing back every member of our body into one whole. This unbelievable functioning whole that we are as human beings, or as the whole earth is, with miracles. The chances of us even being alive are so remote. And one of the things that Jill speaks about is, she said, when I had the stroke, it took us 7 years to actually get back. And she said, I'm so thankful every day I'm alive, the miracle of just being alive. So now we're going to bring back into the executive part of the brain, we're going to go into an archer pose. So one leg forward and bent, the other leg at right angles. I've got my right arm up and my right knee forward, thumb up. Pull the bow into an archer. We open the heart center, but we are using the executive brain. Clear focus. I like to do this dynamically, just moving up and down to stretch into the pose. Dropping your shoulders, feeling the stretch, but keeping your eyes on the horizon. Planning, organizing. Last few. And release. And changing direction. You may want to just step it out a bit with my stiff body. And go to the other side. I can't really use my right arm at the moment, so just bending as best you can with keeping a clear focus on, I've got my focus on my left thumb. Bending into it. When we get overwhelmed, and you see it a lot with very traumatized children, it's very hard for them to access when we're in a very hyper alert place of fear, when we don't feel safe or connected, it's very hard to access this executive brain, which is why you see children not doing well when they've been seriously traumatized, or adults leaning into it. Calming the rest of the system to keep that hyper focus, like an eagle in the sky looking at its prey specifically, and release it. Stepping out, and to just do a little bit of balancing now before we go down to the ground. If you can, put your hands above your head, just lifting one foot up. So if I'm on my left foot, which will be accessing the right side of my brain. Now I also have to keep my eyes open for this, because I need my executive brain to give me both balance, focus, and concentration. Activating both sides, and come down and go to the other side. Tapping your foot, bringing your foot up if you can. Noticing how one side you'll stand more easily on than the other. And stretching round, coming down now to sitting. We're going to have our legs wide apart, feet up, so they're flexed. Our hands are going to be above our heads. On the in-breath, we're coming to the top. We can just turn our bodies round and drop down to one side. There's no hurry on this. But all the time noticing what's happening in your body, that all 4 of these characters are at play, along with all the 10 bodies that we talk about in yoga. Coming back up to the top and down to the other side. Up to the top and down to the center, stretching forward. There's no hurry, do it in your own time now. We're going to do another 3 rounds. In each position, I like to explore what's happening in my spine and my body. And bringing together the anahat, that unstrung sound of the wisdom that knits us together. We want to keep a mantra going. The one I'm using is Waheguru, which is really that unstruck sound that all is well. When Jill had that stroke in the morning, she knew that all was well, whether she lived, died, it didn't really matter. She just was. She didn't have access to that part of her brain which was living on a timeline. And all we have is connection and love. And just complete this round. We're going to stay seated with one foot against the thigh of the other leg. And stretch down to where you can feel comfortable with a straight back and a straight leg, stretching out the life nerve. Breathing long and deep with soft eye focus down to the big toe. Dropping your shoulders. We're accessing the part of our right brain, which is the wise one, who can hold all the other parts together. It knows the playful one, the executive one whose mind is already running to the next task. The resentful one. It's never quite fair or isn't fair. Just accessing right through the breath and the heart center, the one who's wise. Coming up and changing legs. Keeping your back as straight as you can. I can't bend my left leg, so do as best as you can. Chin gently tucked in, shoulders dropped, eyes looking up to Ajna, to the third eye. Long and deep, allowing the wise one to include all the other characters in the play. And slowly coming back up. Stretch out a bit. Cushion. And stretching round with one hand on the opposite knee, the other hand behind, just holding a stretch. Keeping your eyes open, looking over the shoulder. And changing to the other side. Letting the nervous system catch up with all these characters. The nervous system will be very tuned in to each of the characters in our lives, giving us adrenaline when we need it, driving us often with fear to keep us safe, and releasing and relaxing as all parts feel safe and they can belong. Hands now on our knees. And we're going to just do big circles with our head and our neck. For me, allowing my pain body also to play a role and not push against it. To allow it just to be. Not to drown in it, but to observe it. Changing direction. Coming to the center, do some head turns to the left, to the right. All the time allowing the heart center to gather the bits and the pieces that the executive brain has separated back together. You all belong here. Nothing is excluded. Everything is welcome. And shrugging our shoulders, letting our shoulder, releasing them, giving them some rolls as well as some shrugs. just taking a moment to gather ourselves in the beauty of this life. 7 years Jill was recovering because she believed she was here as a miracle on earth. That's true of all of us. We're here by some amazing miracle to live at this time and to honor that. Now coming down onto our bellies. And into Cobra. I'm going to go into half Cobra, the Sphinx, elbows on the ground. My fingers are going to be splayed out, which is really good for the nervous system. Head back. Long, deep breaths, looking up to the midpoint of the brow. Keeping that Waheguru, which is the heart center, saying you all belong, there is no judgment. Now slowly coming out of that Cobra into cat and cow, and then back down onto the heels into Guru Pranam. Back up into cat and cow. And we're going to release the slower spine by going into a cow to start with, and then into an angry cat. Honoring each part of the spinal cord, which is carrying messages up and down the spine. Put us in high alert, depending on the character that is needed. But being governed by the one who is not fearful or afraid and is watching over. Now we're going to shift now into doing, if you can, into alternate legs and arms. It's balancing, keeping your eyes open, stretching alternate arm and a leg and bringing them back and then stretching out again. Notice how your whole body has to hold a lot of balance. Your brain is working really hard in balancing the hemispheres, using the executive function. Last one. Coming back and doing the opposite side. Last one. And coming down to baby pose. Release, relax, your forehead on the floor, knowing that we create so many stories, especially in the left brain makes loads of stories because it lives very much in this world on this timeline with pressure and things to do, things to achieve, our image to maintain. It's its role. Let's not be against it. But letting yourself relax down. There's an elderly man in his 90s, I know. His name's John. And he's suffered a lot in his life with mental illness and resentment. And his son is very famous. He resents his son because his son doesn't give him much attention. He suffers with it. The last time I visited him, something extraordinary had happened. I said, "How is it with your son, John?" He said, "It's fine, there's no problem." "What's happened?" "I don't know, I don't seem to remember any problem." "No, he's doing so well, I'm so proud of him. So happy to be his father." And as I watched this, it was a bit like with Jill when she had that stroke. The part of his brain that was holding the grudge, resentment, the pain, the unfairness, the suffering, had disappeared. He was just left with this wonderful sense of presence, that all was well. It was the most wondrous experience. He's still alive, he's housebound. To see it in action. Now coming to lying down, relaxing, releasing. Let it be. Whatever is, let it be. The miracle of being alive, without judgment, without ladders to climb, that we are here and we are alive in this moment. We're in the right brain. We know there is no other moment but this one. Let each part of your body surrender to this moment. And the sound of that mantra, the Waheguru, all is well. Whether I live or die, whether I'm in pain or not, all is well. I am here. Stretching yourself now, coming back to sitting. You may want to pause it and have a little longer just to lie down. Pause the video, come back up, and we'll close with 3 Satnams. Let's breathe in to begin. Satnam. 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 And bow to that which is the wholeness of our bodies, our presence, our beings, our light. And go well into this day. Satnam.